Come here, darling, make me special. I wanna be a girl. Ooh.
Don't, share it out. Bring it back in. Make me special. I wanna be a girl with the metal. Ooh. Don't, share it out. Hey. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Junior's Brother Soul. I am back with the new video to bless y'all with R&B the right way, the authentic way. As you can see, I came in with Emily King's Metal from her Special Occasion album. Now, I had stopped current R&B bangers for a minute, which y'all know. And, this album came out right after, I started talking about it. And then I wanted to come back and do a video, but things happened with my computer and all that good stuff, and I wasn't able to kind of talk about it. So I was like, I definitely want to come in and talk about this album because, I'm still playing, a Special Occasion. Joints like This Year, which I talked about here on Current R&B Bangers. 4-Star, Home Now, Who Wants My Love, Easy, Closer to the Morning. Like, it's such a warm album, and I definitely want you guys to definitely check it out. It's still in rotation. Emily King, I just love her voice. And then this song, Metal, is just so... It's just a groove, you know what I'm saying? And I do love it. So, definitely want to come in with that and definitely want y'all to check that out. But I want to give a special, speaking of, talking about metals, I want to talk about my mom and my stepdad getting married. They got married, which was beautiful. Last Saturday, it was such a beautiful wedding. Want to definitely wish them love and all that good stuff and happiness and all that good stuff. So it was a great wedding. So I definitely want to shout out my mom and my stepdad. So listen, y'all know what the title is. Y'all know what time it is. It's all about current R&B bangers. Now, if you're new to Junior's World of Soul, current R&B bangers is all about just showing y'all that mainstream people that R&B ain't going nowhere. It's here and it ain't never going nowhere, and all that R&B dead stuff is so old and tired and through. Like, we're done with that. You know what I'm saying? Because R&B will always show and prove. Maybe the powers that be is not giving it the love that it used to, but it ain't going nowhere, and it's always here. So instead of me being on Twitter and talking mess about it, I was like, I want to create something. You know what I mean? You had so many other platforms, doing their damn thing. I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to create a platform to give, indie artists and give out, R&B artists another platform so their music can be heard. So that's what all current R&B bangers is about, for real. But this week, y'all, I got three this week. And again, I don't want to keep y'all too long. I know y'all got things to do, people to see, people to do, and all that good stuff. So I just want to get this started. So we're going to start this off with this record right on. Yeah, here we go. Hey, hey, all right. Ha. Shout out to Kate Renata. I forgot to say that in the last video. You know what I'm saying? When I talked about Victoria Monet and this joint, all right, for, in the last current R&B bangers. I forgot to talk about Kate Renata. Y'all know I've been a fan of this dude. I have talked about him so much on current R&B bangers because I always feel like Kate Renata has that dance, vibe, but it still has a soul to it. It gives me that 70s kind of like, that 70s, dance, but it still had a soul to it. And I think that's what Kate Renata does, but it still has something new to it. And again, he gave Victoria Monet a banger, for real. Listen, her album, Jaguar 2, is still in rotation for me. I find it so enjoyable. You know what I mean? Like, last episode, I talked about the album, the songs that I like, which was All Right. I liked Caddy, On My Mama. I'm the One is one that really hits home, for real, because it's like people out there just not listening when you're saying you're the one and it's right in your face. Like, what are you doing? But anyway, and then Stop, that joint. But it's one song that I was like, I was so nervous to talk about because this is the song that was really causing the controversy on Twitter with the Silk Sonic and Victoria Monet type of, like, they basically just saying that. I saw a tweet that somebody said that Victoria Monet's album is what Silk Sonic wanted to do, and I was like, That's not true. And it was causing that. And this song, Goodbye, which I love so much because it gives you that 70s, thing. But that just goes to show that D Miles just has a sound that's just his. You know what I mean? And what he did with Silk Sonic, yeah, I mean, I give it a little fever. But for me, you know what I mean? It was what he did with, Leave the Door Open, which was just amazing record. And for me, Goodbye gives me Leave the Door Open vibes. It gives me, After Last Night vibes from Silk Sonic. So I get the comparison, but I was like, y'all leave that alone. You know what I mean? But it's such a good song. This is how you end an album for real, for real. And I really, really, really love this joint. So the first joint on Current R&B Bangers is coming from Victoria Monet, and this record is entitled Goodbye. Get to my favorite part of it. So hopefully you guys get ready to sing along to this joint. Yes, again, I'm coming from work. That's why it's buttoned all the way up. So we're going to stop that right there. Okay? All right.
Gonna say goodbye. Let's make it a goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. If this is the last time, let's make this one a goodbye.
Goodbye. That joint is it's so funky. And like I said, when you're listening to it, it gives you that, leave the door open about last night type of vibes. And obviously, because D-Mile is a part of it. You know what I mean? It's just such a great song. It's a good vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's like a joint like Earth, Wind, and Fire type of joint. And which is funny because the song before this is Hollywood with Earth, Wind, and Fire. So that's just crazy. It's like, to me, it was like Victoria was like, thank you for being on the song, but now I want to give my respect to you. You know what I'm saying? I want to say thank you. And I think this was her giving respect to Earth, Wind, and Fire because it gives you that flavor. You know what I mean? So y'all check out her album, Jaguar 2. Such a good album. It's very enjoyable. I'm still playing it, and I think you guys will enjoy it. But the first joint of Current R&B Bangers is Victoria Monet, and that is Goodbye. All righty, keeping it going like this. Oh yes, oh yes.
Yeah, yeah. Baby, keep on turning me on. Oh, it's just
Everything you do, huh? You should keep on turning me on. Yeah, yeah. Music take me away, music take me away. My boy BJ, the Chicago Kid, with the underrated classic, Turn Me Up. To me, I think this is so. I put this, and then when you're talking about the 2000s and you're talking about like the 2010s and you're talking about R&B, I put this song with Adorn by Maxwell. I mean, by not Maxwell, Lord, by did I say Maxwell? Oh my God, I meant Miguel. I meant Miguel. Like I put Miguel's Adorn and I put, BJ the Chicago Kid Turning Me Up. Like those are like classics of that decade of the 2010s. Like when you talk about R&B songs, I feel like these two songs need to be discussed. You know what I mean? But this joint was on his album, his debut album, In My Mind. I've been rocking with this guy ever since, what was the album? Shit. Pineapples and Annihilators. Like, and then when he did the D'Angelo joint, like, I'm just a fan of BJ the Carnival Kid, and I was also a fan of his album after that, which was 1123. And I always put him, like I always said, and when I was doing Current R&B Bangers, I was like, him, Anderson .Paak, and Ro James, I felt like was like the new school Rat Pack to me. You know what I'm saying? If y'all know about the Rat Pack with Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. and Frank Sinatra, I will always put them three because it's like they love the music. You know what I mean? And it was a soul to it but then it was so street, you know what I mean? And it was just like it was real, and I always put them three together. But I love BJ the Chicago Kid because he really is like uh to me, he gives you Nate Dogg flavors. Like he can get on a hook and just kill it, and it don't even matter. You know what I mean? That's how dope he is. You know what I mean? But he came out with 1123 in 2019, and now we're in 2023, and I was just like, BJ, when we getting another album? What's going on? You know what I mean? But I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. Dang, I need y'all to see all of this. This Stacks hat, feel me? But honestly, I wanted him to do like a duet album with Anderson .Paak because them two get together and everything they have done together has been dope. You know what I mean? But obviously Anderson just did something with Bruno, so I guess that wasn't in the cards. But I hope them two would finally get together and even give us just like an EP or something. You know what I'm saying? Of like 5 songs of them doing together. I think would be so dope. You know what I mean? But yo, speaking of, BJ the Chicago Kid has a new joint out, man. And the joint is entitled Spend the Night. And he's taking you to the dance floor. You know what I mean? And you never think about that with BJ the Chicago Kid. You always thinking about, yeah, songs like this is gonna make you groove, but now this joint is a dance record. You know what I mean? And it got that in it. And him and Coco Jones. I think it's so dope. And the joint is called Spend the Night. And I just love it when an artist is being experimental and we're following them. Like sometimes you might not like it, but then you want to see where they're going musically. And I'm loving where BJ is going musically. And I think this joint is dope. I was like, oh yes, I am definitely talking about this. So the second joint of current R&B bangers is coming from BJ the Chicago Kid, and this joint is entitled "Spend the Night," and this joint is a groove. So get ready to groove, y'all. And here we go. All right.
Take the load off and don't hold back. I take the weight up off your shoulders. You know I'll do that.
Hey,
In the morning,
hey.
if you spend the night with me, yeah, yeah.
Hey,
It's the way that your body's
like it's nice, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then Coco comes in and they kind of feeding off of each other. I think it's such a dope joint. You know what I mean? It's definitely different for BJ, but I like it. You know what I'm saying? He's still being BJ on it. Coco is coming on and being Coco and putting them both together. I think it's a dope record. You know what I mean? Shout out to what is his name? Yeti Bates, Boots or Bates, if I'm Beat Yeti Beats, if I'm not mistaken. And the joint, he got them both together, and I think it's a dope joint. So I'm loving where BJ is musically. So hopefully, we get this album soon. I guess this is the first single, so I'm excited. You know what I mean? I think it's a dope joint. So I definitely have to talk about it. It's on all streaming platforms. This joint is entitled Spend the Night, and that is BJ the Chicago Kid and Coco Jones. All right, keeping it going, y'all. Like I said, I don't want to keep y'all here too long. I don't want to keep y'all here long at all, because you got things to do. All right.
just to get it right.
Just to get it right. That song Stith. Let me tell you something. I haven't talked about this dude in a minute, yo. You know what I mean? It was just so great when I heard his music, when I was introduced to his music in 2017, and or if this is off the Can We Talk album. And like the boy is an entertainer, but he can sing. You know what I mean? Like in his videos, he be rocking, like he can dance his ass off. But it's like you can tell he's an entertainer too. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna throw no shade because y'all know I'm good for that. But this is no shade. I feel like he is what Chris Brown wants to be. Chris Brown is an entertainer, but vocalist. mm, But Chris Brown can entertain his ass off. You know what I mean? But to me, Tone is that singer, but he can still kind of like a Michael, for real, if you want to say it. He got a song on his what is it, Good Company album that he entitled Like Mike. You know what I mean? But I'm not discrediting Chris, but I just think vocally Tone is a lot more better than a lot more. That's horrible. He's just better. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna use the right spirit. But Yo, like I said, I was introduced him on Can We Talk, and I played Get It Right. Get It Right was one of my favorite joints of 2017. His joint No One Else, Date. What else was on that album? There's a couple more joints. So his EP, I was definitely playing a lot, but Get It Right was my joint. Then he came with Good Company, and I talked about Like Mike on Current Army Bangers back in 2018. Then he actually went on tour with her. That's what I loved about what she did. She was bringing all the young ones with her on tour. You know what I mean? Like she took him and she took a couple of other people, and they were all young artists. And she was like, "Yo, you know what I'm saying? That's dope. That's how you do it. You bring people down with you. You know what I mean? That's how you get down with it." But then after that, he gave us Devotion and Something in the Water with Maida. And then I kind of lost him for a second. I kind of lost him a little for a second because there's so much music. Sometimes you're not gonna catch everything they do. So it's some songs that I didn't catch with him that I missed, but it's all good. But then I heard I Need You. And I said, "Oh, okay, Tone is back, huh? He back." And then he released his project last Friday entitled POV. And I've been jamming to it. I have really, really been jamming to it with joints like Girls Like You, I Need You, Last Call, and Stamina. I was like, talk your shit, Tone. But the last song on this album is definitely my favorite. It's definitely my favorite. It brings me back to Get It Right. It has that type of flavor. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I love is give me something familiar. And this song gives me something familiar in the music that I fell in love with, Tone. So, yo, this Lonely, it hits home right now. It definitely hits home right now. That second verse is real. You know what I mean? But Lonely is it. And I was like, yo, I gotta talk about this record. So the third joint of Current Army Bangers coming from Tone Stith, and this is Lonely. Like, love this song, man. I've been playing it like nonstop, like all day today. But here we go.
But tonight, somebody's gonna be lonely. Lonely. Somebody's gonna be lonely.
Lonely, lonely. Hey,
As a matter of fact, there was one
woo!
said that I wouldn't
Oh,
like your
love this, yo. Love this record, man. Like I said, you see how it definitely gives you the vibes of Get It Right. It's definitely familiar or what you know if you was a fan of Tone, you know that that's the flavor it was. You know what I mean? I can see him killing this video, dancing in the video, and all that kind of stuff. So it's giving me what I fell in love with him as a fan. You know what I mean? So this joint is dope. Definitely want you guys to check out his project POV. It's very I'm jamming to it, so I'm definitely enjoying it for real, for real. But this joint is a dope joint, so I'm telling you, Lonely is where it's at. So third joint of Current Me Bangers coming from Tone Smith, and this is Lonely. Yo, like I said, I ain't want to keep y'all too long. Here's y'all three joints for the week. Really four. I'm gonna say God, what is it? Emily King with Metal, Victoria Monet with Goodbye, BJ the Chicago Kid, and Coco Jones with Spend the Night, and Tone Smith with Lonely. Got some R&B rap announcements. Definitely thank y'all for the love y'all been showing us for this Zoe video that we did with Keith Burroughs, where we talked about the Forefront album. It was so dope. It was so dope to give Zoe his love. He's been on Catch That 7 times, and for somebody to come on and talk about his album, and we can show him love and just give him the flowers that we definitely feel like he deserves, which was amazing. Keith had a drop the mic moment when he was sitting there and saying that like he felt like Zoe is the Quincy Jones and Fontaine is like the Rod Temperton. Like that was like me and Elise even it caught us, but it was like, yo, you right. Like, you know what I'm saying? The way he broke it down, such a dope episode. Definitely want y'all to check that out. I'm gonna put that in the more info box. Like I said, y'all, in the last two Current R&B Bangers, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and we're at like 700 and like 15 right now. So listen, if you rock with Junior's World of Soul and you subscribe here, subscribe to the R&B Reps. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put all our info in the more info box. Definitely show love. Y'all know we're representing R&B the right way, and we're doing it with fun, shade, emotion, dramatic, all that. You know what I mean? We have our Catch That Minis, and then where people come on, and you can even come on and talk about a song, and we can have a good time. And then we have artists like we had Terrence Martin, Brian Alexander Morgan, we had Zoe, you know, Trina Broussard. We had artists that came on to talk about albums that's favorites, so we can learn about them. You know what I mean? And that's what we want on Catch It. We want people to learn about you and what music, how music makes you feel and how you love it. You know what I mean? So definitely that's the announcements. Definitely subscribe to us, share, all that good stuff. But y'all know I like to come in with something new, but I like to exit the video with a classic record. So 45 years ago, this song was #1 on the R&B charts. Shout out to Jeffrey Osborne, who is one of my favorite singers to come out of the 70s, male singers anyway. And this song he was with his group, you know what I mean? And this was definitely a hit. Everybody loved it. And hopefully I'll see y'all next week. All right, y'all. Love is gone. See y'all. Peace.